Well. Good morning, West Ham fans. It's Friday. It's the last working day of the month. So terribly busy in Rusty B World, but I'm back from my trips, gallivanting around France. Anton's back from his trips, gallivanting around Spain, all in time for us to sign some bloody players and go into a crucial game against Nottingham Forest on Sunday. Then we go into international break as well. So it's going to be, and technically then the transfer window closes over the week after the weekend anyway as well. So it's a lot happening. And it went a bit crazy yesterday, didn't it? It went a bit cray-cray, as the kids will say, with, I would assume today, the confirmation of Magassa and Fernandez in West Ham shirts. Double signing. Gotta love a double signing. A la Tevez and Mascherano. A la Borello and Nocerino. A la Hearts and Kitson. A la Javier Margas and Neil Ruddock. But there's going to be more. Well, let's believe there's more. And we speculated yesterday. What does that mean for West Ham? What does that mean? We're not going to mention today about 𝗠𝗢𝗥𝗡𝗜𝗚 𝗠𝗢𝗡𝗏, who's another name we've been linked with as well. And we might cover a few more. It does have a sense of for those in the UK, the next sales. You come into the end, you go, I'm just going to get that. I need that. You probably don't, but actually, there's a lot of whether it's panic buying or whether there is sense in the madness. It could be a combination of both. Where's the money coming from as well? We were meant to be skin, and we've laid out the best part of 55-60 million quid in those two players. Yes, we do have some money in the bank already. I think we actually had some money in the bank. We pleaded poverty, as we usually do. Could it mean Lucas Paqueta moving on? Possibly. We're led to believe Aston Villa seem to be in relative pole position for that. We'll wait and see. I think there may be some movement with the goalkeeper as well. I think Areola will, they will free up wages by him going out on loan potentially. The one destination that was kind of nailed on was going to be Paris FC, but Kevin Trapp's now sort of filled that void. But then obviously there's the proposed sale of 49% of the West Ham women's side to the American Consortium private equity group, which would help us from a PSR perspective. Indeed, everyone else has done it, but we're actually selling it to someone else rather than ourselves. But anyway, let's talk Turkey. Let's talk some players have been linked with all over the pitch. Have been linked with players. A late bid, so to speak, in terms of potentially from Victor Boniface. West Ham have been alerted to his availability. I think X mentioned it as well yesterday. And we've been offered the chance to sign him in a late deal. He was due to be signing for AC Milan on a loan with obligation to buy, £21 million, considering we were quoted like 50-60 million quid like 18 months ago, I think it was. And that was verbally agreed between Leverkusen and AC Milan. He failed his medical AC, which led to the Italian side making to end the pursuit of him, despite obviously making that sort of agreement. I think it was a loan with a permanent for 21 at the end of the season, which is a good price for the Nigerian international, to be honest. He scored 11 times in all competitions during the 24-25 season. There's been some injuries. Obviously, he had a major injury, which curtailed any sort of momentum for us 18 months ago, I think it was. Quite a horrific injury. So, he's on about 90. He's still got 4 years left of his contract. He's on 95 grand a week, apparently. They've made it clear by Leverkusen that they are prepared to sanction a move for him, even on a loan spell, with obligation to buy. So we'll see. It might be a late deadline day move for him. He's 24. He's obviously seen the likes of Frimpong go from Leverkusen. He's seen Wirtz go from Leverkusen as well. So looking at his options, he is an out-and-out centre forward. He is a lump. He is a big lad. He is can be very lethal from a give him the ball and he will score. As I said, I've had I've had a personal interaction with him, so I don't don't really like him as a person, but I'm happy to put that aside. If he's in the Claret and Blue and he's banging in goals, isn't it? So we'll keep an eye on that one. Elsewhere, we are sticking with, we mentioned about Paris FC, and it looks like we're going back to the well. I could have maybe given him a lift on the way home, to be honest, on the old Eurostar. But according to reports, West Ham are locked in talks with Paris FC for the highly rated right back Dmitri Coll. Now, when you say right back, go, oh God, there we go. We've already got right backs. We do. This is going to be very much, if we sign him, in the same guise as when we signed Mamadou Kanté from Paris FC. Now, I don't think the assumption is he'll be loaned back to Paris FC as they've been promoted to League A. But according to 𝗠𝗢𝗥𝗡𝗚 𝗛𝗘𝗦, we're set to sign him in a hectic final week. And for the second year running, we are going to be raiding Paris FC. He is widely considered as one of France's great hopes defensively. He's due to the article in the French publication said he's due to undergo a medical on Saturday, and will sign a 4-year deal with an option of an extra year. He's been capped at under 16 level for France. Versatile enough to play at centre half as well as wide on the right flank. And he's only made 5 first-team appearances for PSG's next door neighbours. And it's believed he will come over and be bought and initially be playing in the under-21s, thus joining Kanté in that in the setup. There's no mention of fee at the moment. He's under contract until 2027. But as I alluded to in the Academy show on Monday, I have a feeling that we're going to be letting the likes of Junior Robinson and maybe Regan Clayton go out on loan, and then Coll could come in and play right back or right wing back. He has been described as the great French hope by France Antilles. He is a graduate of the fabled Clairefontaine Academy, following in the likes of Thierry Henry, Kylian Mbappe, Nicolas Anelka, Olivier Giroud, William Gallas, and Matuidi. That is not a bad list. And according to reports, he will be very much one for the future. So it's encouraging to see we're sort of future planning ourselves a little bit. You've got to think, the next, I think, in terms of the next one off the conveyor belt for that right back slot, you've got Wan-Bissaka, you've got Kyle Walker-Peters. Both are in. Wan-Bissaka's 26. Walker-Peters is 28, 29, I think. But I don't think there's really anyone else. I mean, there's potential. Junior Robinson has potential to get in there, but I don't know if he's really shown that. With someone like Coll, does seem to be a really exciting prospect and could be the next one to break through into that pathway. So. It could be another sign. It could be 3 signings very, very shortly. Bang, bang, bang. Do you want some more? Do you want some more signings? What about Frankino Duj? Now, according to he's a guy we've been spoken about before. He plays for Michelad, and he's Guinea international. And according to reports, West Ham are keen to sign the 21-year-old. He is a striker by trade, but can play anywhere across the front line, to be honest. And according to reports, we are ready to fork out 30 million euros, 1-3, to secure his services in the final days. However, we may need to wait a little bit longer to strike a deal. He's the latest African prospect to have risen to prominence with SC Michelad, and he is, I thought he was 21, or is he 23? Well, he's either 21 or 23. Is that right? Doesn't matter. We'll skip. We'll get over that. He's amassed 9 goals and 2 assists so far in 10 appearances across all competitions. And there's several other clubs interested in him, but apparently West Ham are very, very keen on him. And a very viable option, particularly at 13 million euros. And in terms of, straight away we can, even if you sold him like a day later, you'd make your money back on him if you wanted to. Apparently, he faced stiff competition from Como, with the Serie A outfit also ready to pay 13 million to land him in a Scandinavian club. However, a summer move might not see the light of day, with reporting suggesting West Ham may need to wait until a little longer to strike a deal. So it'd be interesting to see if that materializes, or maybe it's one for January potentially as well. Although our Guinea in the AFCONs, we are saying a lot of African-based players at the moment. Magassa particularly. Is he Sierra Leone? I think he may be. Not for it. Obviously Wan-Bissaka. You've got Diouf, who's been called up to the Senegal side for the international break. You've got Aged still there. Yeah, so it's worth keeping an eye on that, Mr. Potter. I'm sure you have. Let's go back home. Let's go to the Championship. Now, we've been linked to a couple of Championship players. Obviously, Holly spoke about Victor as well. Very fucking weird, isn't it? Personally, I think in terms of the goalkeeper, I don't think that's a slight on Mads. I think that is a slight on Areola in terms of looking to bring in another goalkeeper and maybe move, because he is one of the highest earners in the club. Even if we get 50% of the money, at least that's moved out. So we could hopefully, make that spend that money elsewhere. Let's talk about Ivor the Great. According to reports, West Ham are in concrete talks, not just talks, concrete talks, with Ivor Pandur. According to multiple sources, the Hull City goalkeeper is higher on the Hammers list. He scooped the Hull's Player of the Season, Players Player and Supporters Player of the Season awards. He impressed with 6 clean sheets in 44 games and consistent shot-stopping prowess. West Ham view him as a younger, reliable alternative who could push for the #1 spot. I think that's what it was. I think you'll have 2 younger. I mean, Mads is 25. He's young as well. So they're both of them. You've got your goalkeepers potentially for the next 10 years if they stayed around. Hull remain reluctant to sell due to their own transfer sort of restrictions, but could be tempted if West Ham table a fee of around £5 million. If a deal goes through, the Irons are expected to either loan out Areola or Wes. I think they're trying. I think Wes means fuck all into made business for them. I might as well get rid of Areola and put him out on loan and subsidise part of his wages, and therefore get a bit of $1 back for the old PSR. Sticking with the Championship, the last one, Sheffield United right back Harrison Burrows. According to the Sun, we have been tracking him for some time, and apparently it will spark concerns amongst the Sheffield United massive. They've always seen key players already head the door for pastures new, but that could change even more before the window closes on 7 p.m. next Monday. As I said, Harrison is someone apparently West Ham have been tracking for some time. They paid £6 million for him last summer, and he put pen to paper on a contract until 2028 at Bramall Lane. And it will likely take a healthy fee to prize him away from the Championship club. Though keen, it remains to be seen whether the Hammers have any intention for that to happen. Personally, I mean, he's played his Peterborough stats was 185 games, 20 goals and 39 assists. Not bad for a right back. 6 goals and 6 assists in 48 games in his first season for Sheffield United. He's 23, boasts a good left foot, and can offer some creative threat in open plays and from set pieces as well. Personally, I don't think this one's likely. I think this one is very much paper talk. I think that's one area we don't need it. Unless they're, I don't know. I don't think they even will. I think Emerson will leave. I think it's probably the least position we need covered, in all honesty, with Diouf, Scarles, Emerson. If he leaves, still those 2. Aaron Wan-Bissaka can play left back or left wing back. Kyle Walker-Peters can play left wing back. Then you've got below that in the academy people like Emeka Adiele. I don't think we need and if it's going to cost you north of 10 million quid to get him, don't think it's worth it. I do not think that's worth it. Let me know in the comments if you think it is. And that's it. Just a whistle-stop tour of the latest news. No real rusty ratings. It's all about just giving you the facts, nice and hard. But for me, I could see either the Great join him, the goalkeeper, with Areola being shipped out on loan potentially. I can see Victor Boniface coming in. If it was a loan with option to buy, 21 million quid, get him on loan for the season. We've saved wages, we've saved a shitload of wages. Never, you're looking for someone who could probably be a young alternative, a new regen, as the kids will say, of Antonio. I think he kind of is. And then, yeah, still need that. I still want that centre off. I still need this, and I'm being greedy, but I want a centre off. I'm not really fussed about right back, although Coll does seem to be one for the future. And again, if he's anything, I mean, Mamadou Kante for me he looks really fucking good, and he's only going to grow and grow and grow. Hopefully not, he's fucking huge already, but in terms of the game, and he could come in, and there's two of them then as well, so they're mates. That's always nice. But anyway, if you like what we do, don't forget to give it a like, comment, share. We hope in a week or so's time we can talk about our latest channel sponsor. It's been a bit of a nightmare for them, to be honest, but they get everything sorted, and we'll be able to hopefully announce that very, very soon. And we've got loads of new stuff, new icons and stuff to show you as well, which we'll probably do next week, maybe in time for the end of the transfer window, maybe. Graham Potter press conference today. Be interesting to see. I'm sure there'll be some questions about transfers you won't mention because he never does. And until next time, my friends, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, and I'll see you soon. I'm back, bitches.